Hendricks with the Black Sheep Reports, and today I'm going to be answering your questions. Now, I don't know if any of these people want their full name out there, so I'm just going to use their first name. Chris asks, how do I feel about the Federal Reserve and the centralized banking system? That is a great question. We no longer control our currency. Congress was supposed to establish the coin, not privatize the banking system. They removed the gold standard and flooded the system with money causing inflation. They have never been audited, so we have no idea where the money has gone to, if they pocketed it, funded to other countries, nothing. Under the gold standard, you can only print money based on how much gold you have in stock. Now, they print however much money they want, with absolutely no regulations. No branch of government, according to Alan Greenspan, can override that decision of the Federal Reserve. Also, the Federal Reserve is not even federal. It's a private bank. They make this decision they want with our money, set interest rates. They want to spend it however they want. Imagine you had that kind of control. You can control the country however you want. You can bankrupt it, make it flourish. You can steal all you want, buy up anything you want, fund anything you want, and there's nothing anybody can do about it, and nothing they can say otherwise. That is why our system's so bad. The dollar holds no value. It's not backed by anything of worth. It's just paper. Brandon asks a great question. How do I feel about Dr. Ben Carson? I do not agree with a lot of his views. Ben Carson talks about forced vaccines on people, which I believe is terrible. If you live in a free country, you shouldn't be forced to do anything. He wants to talk about the measles outbreak, yet there's been 0 kids in America who died by the measles and 100 who died by taking the vaccine. He's a warmonger who talks about war with Russia and how Putin's a bully. He's a joke. Now, Darren asks, how do I feel about the jade helm? Wondering if they will be firing actual weapons. You know, I believe jade helm is just a simple psyop. It's just to get the people trained, to get them used to seeing military weapons in their town and in their street. I also believe it's a way to train the army to take on patriots, returning veterans, gun owners, protesters, all which the Pentagon says is low-level terrorists. I don't believe they're going to be using live rounds, but it's always a possibility. The DHS has been stockpiling a lot of bullets. Dustin asks, where is the Gary Mckinnonn found? How deep can, and he asks, how deep can the rabbit hole go? Now, this Gary Mckinnonn, or however you do pronounce it, has to do with a hacker who hacked at NASA and supposedly found information about UFOs. Now, I don't know much about UFOs, honestly. That's all I honestly know. But the second question I do find more interesting. How deep does the rabbit hole go? I would think as deep as you're willing to go. After 2 years of being awake to the truth, I still find more research that makes me go deeper in the rabbit hole. So I don't think there is a limit, or if there is, I haven't found it yet. All great questions. One of my favorite questions asked is by a Paul, and he asks, is America's really a corporation disguised as a state? Such a great question. I believe the answer is yes. Let's look at who benefits during the Iraq War and most of any of your wars. It's corporations like ExxonMobil or Dick Cheney's Halliburton, who made $39.5 billion in the Iraq War. Like the great George Carlin said, corporations own everything, you name it. They have the judges in their pocket. They own all big media companies, so they control just about all the news and information you get here. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking, well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They just doesn't help them. It's against their interests. They just want obligated workers, people who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to be passive acceptive of all their increasingly fucking jobs with the lower pay, longer hours, and reduced benefits, the end overtime, and a vanishing pension. And this has been James Hendricks with Black Sheep Reports. Links are below. Check us out on Facebook at Page to Media on 9/11. Thank you.